This is not an offering to sell a franchise. Franchise offerings are made through the franchise disclosure document. Ask for details. Don't waste your time barking up the wrong tree. Fetch the perfect franchise opportunity with Pet Supplies Plus. Named the #1 pet franchise by Entrepreneur Magazine for 8 years running. Invest in a top dog and enjoy a $2.4 million AUV as a franchise owner. Get your paws on a rewarding franchise opportunity in a billion-dollar industry by visiting PetSuppliesPlusFranchising.com. That's PetSuppliesPlusFranchising.com.
Welcome, guys, to My Life, My Choice, coming to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada. Today is Wednesday, the 9th of January, 2019. Yay! And the hour is 1 p.m. My name is Dr. Drwendydearborne, and I will be your host for the next 60 minutes, maybe less, but not any more than 60 minutes. So I'll be your host for the next 60 minutes. And guys, I'd like to welcome you once again to the show, My Life, My Choice. My Life, My Choice is a podcast, a radio podcast that is about me, it's about you. And it's about us creating the lives that we want to live using the power of our conscious choice, with the understanding that choice is the first of the universal laws, that's laws plural, laws of attraction. And so what I aim to do on this show is to actually support you by giving you ideas, by giving you tools, by giving you thought processes that you can go away with and then apply to your life as it suits you. So when I say apply to your life, literally what I mean is you take it and you make it yours and you apply it to you and how things work for you within your life, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, within your life. You take it and you work it so that it fits into who you are. Well, one of the things that I would like to say with the laws of attraction, and that's something that I do. That's something that I talk about. That's something that I am all about, the laws of attraction. So it's really important to understand that the laws of attraction is not the law of attraction as it's being purported to people. It's actually the laws, plural. There are many, 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 many laws that actually go into attracting what it is that you say that you want. You know, typically they give sort of like gratitude, forgiveness, and some of the major laws that love, that people hear about. But there are many, many other laws that are pertinent to you. And using the laws of attraction and using them not just as a one-off, where, you know, you do something, you don't even really know what you did, but you did something right because what you wanted manifested. And now here you go, 10, 20, 30 years later, you can't get a manifestation, you can't get anything to manifest if your life depended on it. It's about understanding that the laws, that there are laws in addition to the law of attraction that are vitally important. And part of this show is truly dedicated, part of this show is truly dedicated to that. So you can check more information out on the laws, plural, of attraction in action, and go to the same website, the laws of attraction in action.com. Or you can actually go to a shorter version, which will take you right there, which is the laws, or LOAIA.com. So LOAIA.com, and it will take you to the laws of attraction in action, the website, and you can check it out and see what's there and see what can help you. Well, this is the first show for 2019, and I'm flying solo at the moment. So this is the first show for 2019. And what I'm actually aiming to do for this year, guys, is in addition to, talking on the show, bringing information to you via the podcast, I'm actually wanting to set up some scenarios where you can listen to information on an app and do short coursework on an app on your phone, and also to create some sort of workshops, online workshops that you can attend. And also this year I'm going to do, I'm going to do some speaking so that I can engage with those of you who are in Las Vegas and the surrounding areas who choose to come, so that I can engage with you face to face. So make it a little bit more up close and personal. Want to do some Zoom conference calls, so it's video conference calling. So all of that's on the docket for this year. At the end of, At the end of January, which, guys, honestly, we're already into the second week of January, if you will. But that being said, by the end of January, if not before, you'll be able to access daily inspirations or weekly inspirations on an app. But I'll give you more information as that unfolds and progresses. So that being said, welcome. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, guys. I hope you are ready for 2019. And as I said in one of my Facebook Live videos, the gloves are off. Well, maybe I wrote that. I can't remember if I said that, but I'm going to say it now anyway. The gloves are off. Oh, no, I said it to my clients. I take that back. I said it to my coaching clients. The gloves are off. I'm not taking any hostages. This is serious business, guys. Life is moving and passing and moving and passing. And in order for you to truly experience what you say that you want to experience, guys, you're going to have to do the work. It's plain and simple as that. If you want to continue having what you have now and doing what you're doing now, continue doing what you're doing, and you'll have what you have now. If you actually want something different, you're going to need to do something different. And in doing something different, you're going to have to make a choice. So that being said, guys, I will say this, though, as it's like the first show, 2018, the last 3 months, the last quarter or the last 3 months of the year was one of the hardest years that I've had since 1984. And in 1984, my sister passed away. I was trying to resuscitate her, and she blew her last breath into my mouth. 2018 became a serious rival to that. And so that should tell you where that was. Now, while it is still very traumatic for me, the one thing that I love about my understanding of the universal laws, which brings me to this show, the universal laws, is being able to learn from what I have experienced, not quash what I've experienced, but learn from what I've experienced and apply that to my life in a way that's going to be helpful and supportive to me. And as I said, this brings us to the positive benefits of creating a win-win attitude in your life. I think this is absolutely paramount. In actual fact, I was talking to one of my older sisters the other day, and this is something that we were both talking about, creating a win-win, creating a win-win so that you don't go down this negative pathway, so you don't go on this negative track. But anyway, I'll get to that in just a minute. Let me just read you the synopsis. And the synopsis is simply this. Life is always moving, and as a result of that, and that's that movement, events are continuously unfolding and manifesting. Some will be to your liking, and others, I'm here to tell you, will not. This, liking and not liking and unfolding and, unfolding and manifesting, this is the natural order of life. And it's the natural order of life with its dualities and its polarities. And they're required for us to consciously and unconsciously manifest. Okay, guys? You're going to have your likes and dislikes. It's a requirement. We can't get away from it. One of the most powerful positive attributes that you can acquire is to always make the choice to find a win-win in every situation. And whether you believe it or not, guys, there is always a learning or a takeaway from every situation that you can apply to your life. And this is for the betterment of your life. And might I say, not only the betterment of your life, but it's also for the betterment of the people around you. Because when you come and you walk in truth, you walk in your truth, you walk in your truth and you walk in I was going to say integrity, but because you're walking in integrity doesn't mean that you are walking in truth. But when you walk in your truth and you are your truth, you are demonstrating your truth. And that's whether people like it or not, you are creating a place and space for people to show up and be honest. See, walking your truth is about honesty. But anyway, life is always moving, and there is definitely that universal law of movement. And the bottom line is that everything on the face of this earth, as we know it, and in some cases don't know it to be yet, is in constant movement. Nothing is ever still. Nothing is ever still. There is a movement for everything, and people who can actually track the frequency of the earth, the frequency of things on the earth, will literally tell you this. There's a movement and a rhythm to everything, so life is always moving. So that being said, as we sort of go into finding the win-win in any situation, it's really important, guys, that you strive to find the win-win in any situation, no matter how devastating. And it can be done. But of course, you have to do what we always do, and that is you have to choose that first. You have to set that intention. So if you want to do this, you have to choose to do that. It requires you to make a conscious choice. And as I said in the blog that goes with this show, in some cases, you have to use the brute force of discipline. You've got to discipline. You've got to discipline yourself. You have to set that intention within yourself so it becomes second nature to who you are, so it becomes just like breathing. You see, guys, when you listen to, I don't know, all over social media, the TV, you know, whatever talk shows, etc., you know, wherever you go and people are sharing experiences with you, people will share experiences with you of heart-wrenching loss, heartbreaking, you know, literally loss that can have you buried right along with them. They can share stories of what's happened to them in, you know, some of the most heinous things that can happen to people. And yet, they are able to recalibrate their life. And they're able to use this experience for the betterment of self. You know, I was reminded of this by one of my mum. Actually, it's my mum's best friend. One of my mother's best friends. But this is, I know him to be my mum's best friend. And recently they reconnected. And one of the things, as I was looking at his biography online, I had completely forgotten that he had been attacked. And this was, I don't know, maybe about 35 years ago. And he had been stabbed, and for all intent and purposes, he had been stabbed and left for dead. Now, he could have been very bitter because it was actually a racially motivated hate crime, as is the buzzword, but it actually really was. And he could have become very bitter and twisted about this. But as he was recovering, it gave him time to think about this situation, and he found a win-win. He found a win-win, and he recalibrated his life. And in those moments, as he was laying there, as he was getting help and or not, something clicked for him that says that life isn't just about me and going to work and what I'm doing. Life is about what I contribute to it. And as a result of that, what he has done is set up a trust and scholarships for students who go to Cambridge University. And that's what he chose to do. He loves education, and that's what he chose to do. Now, that's finding a win-win. That's finding a win-win. Now, the laws of attraction in action, win-win, as I call it, phenomena. What is this? Truly, what is it? And one of the things that I didn't say to you guys, which I'm remiss in, every year, for those of you who listen to the show, you know that I do a meditation on New Year's Eve. And I did my meditation. And the word that I got this year, the word that I was given and the word that I received was transmute. And that was the word that I received. And transmute is about utilizing movement in silence. And to cut a long story short, which it just dawned on me, perhaps this show should have been about that, actually. Transmute, to move, silent, to move and silence. And bottom line, what this talks about is you using the actual recesses of your mind, to use your mind, to go within your silence, the silence that you can create within your mind, and transmute, make movement to make change. Transmute, incidentally, isn't exactly like transformation. Transformation is when it's actually taken place. Transmute is where you do the work. And the work that you do to make change in your life starts as an inside job inside your mind. Move, silent. Move silently. Move silently within so that you can manifest without. So that's the actual, that's the word, and that's the energy, that's the law that we will be working with this year. So what is the laws of attraction in action win-win phenomena? It's a way to transmute and or, in this instance, we're talking about repurposing your experiences. And it's about repurposing your experiences that you may consider to be something negative into something positive, into something inspirational or something motivational. The law of attraction in action, win-win phenomena, it's about a method of choosing to be, not to be controlled by your emotions, not to be paralyzed or buried, or you know, not to allow negative situations that are surrounding people, places, and things, negative situations that are surrounding your life, not to allow them to control you. And that's so vitally important. Win-win. The laws, plural, of attraction in action, win-win phenomena, is about using positive or new positive energy, feeling, or understanding and applying it to areas in your life in which you want to create something successful for yourself. And just so you know, as I've put in the blog, heads up, you are the only one who can dictate what the new and positive energy is. As I just said before, your life and what you do is an internal job, and it truly is a silent internal job. It's a job where you go within, you find that silence, and then within that silence, you create the movement, and or, if you will, you do the work. Your life is an internal job with an external manifestation. When we look at the win-win phenomena, it's important to understand that you will be transmuting, or if you want to say transforming, old energy into something new. As I mentioned with my mother's friend, and with other people, myself included, and with many people who you have seen and you have met, people do this. They do this all the time. Do you know, guys, you consciously and subconsciously do all the above. You do all the above. You actually do already use the win-win phenomena. You do, and I know you do. And you use all the above when you're actually wanting to create a new and positive experience. And that new and positive experience really is hinging on something that you've experienced before. And, well, something that you've experienced before. And it could be good, it could be bad. It's not always negative. You see, the win-win, the universal laws of attraction in action, win-win phenomena, is about the transmutation of an experience. Doesn't always necessitate that it's negative. What it is talking about is repurposing an experience so that you can get this energy to move forward. People do this all the time. You do this all the time. You do this all the time. You take something that an experience that you've had, and it hinges on creating the new and positive energy, hinges on an old, and I'm going to say, negative experience. Or when you've used the past experience to help create something new. You know, you've had a past experience, and based on that, you get a aha. You get an aha moment, and that aha moment takes you on or takes you up to the next level. A key point to remember is that transmuting and or, if you prefer, repurposing past experiences into something new and positive, as I just said, isn't only applicable to the sad, bad, mad stuff or situations in your life. Okay, guys, a key point to remember is that transmuting and or repurposing past experiences into a new and positive energy is also applicable to the positive things and happy and glad things that have happened in your life too. Once again, it's clear. Once again, I say it's clear. Once again, with the laws of attraction in action, win-win phenomena, it's about past experiences and creating or transmuting these experiences into positively charged energy that will support you in the creation of what you need to do so the manifestation of what you want can come forth. To come forth. Vitally important. It's important to me that you understand so that there's absolutely no confusion surrounding the intention of cultivating the laws of attraction in action win-win phenomena. Frequently on shows, and I have every belief you will hear me say this and continue to say this. Because you are going to be transmuting situations, people, places, and things, doesn't mean that you won't have that intense emotional outpouring. You see, your emotions are flags. They're telling you something about you. They're telling you something. They are showing you something about self. So that self can then check in with self and have a conversation with self and decide for self what one wants to do for self. You see, having a win-win situation doesn't mean that you're not feeling. It doesn't mean that you have to squish your emotions and or your feelings. That's not what that's about. Having a win-win attitude, adopting that as an attitude, doesn't mean, as I said in my blog, doesn't mean that you won't become murderously enraged. It doesn't mean that you won't become homicidally mad or homicidally vexed. It doesn't mean that. Neither does it mean that you won't feel broken or hurt or confused. It won't mean that you feel like you've cheated and you've been cheated and you've lost time, so much time. It won't negate any of those. And that's not what it's meant to do. It's not meant to control your emotions. It's not meant to control your emotions. In actual fact, I'm a true believer that you shouldn't control your emotions. What you need to control is how you respond to them. That's what you need to do. Don't control your emotions. Your emotions are you talking to you. That outpouring, to emote, is to outpour. That outpouring is you talking to you. So why would you try to shut you up? Why would you try to shut you up? Shutting you up does, look guys, shutting yourself up or shutting yourself down is like putting a lid on a absolutely boiling pot of water and expecting the fire to go out. See, it's not about shutting you up. It's about listening. It's about listening. It's about switching that chatter off and listening to self so that you can hear self long enough so that you can tap into self to see what it is that you want. So you then can go about your business of doing the inspirational work, the divine inspirational work of getting it. So creating a win-win is all about a conscious choice. And it's all about a conscious choice to put as I got here, a positive spin on a negative occurrence in your life. It's about using that spin, and I literally mean, and you know, when I close my eyes, guys, I can see like a whirlwind or a vortex sort of thing. I can see this thing spinning. It's using that spin to create the momentum to manifest what you want. To create, to create the momentum to manifest what you want. I'm looking for a pen here. And in a bit, I'll actually talk about something that came to mind. I'll actually talk about the benefits you can derive. Some of the benefits you can derive from actually using, this win-win, as I call it, phenomena, and it will really change your life. A lot of people will say, when do I start this process? When can I start this process of win-win? Well, as I say, now is as good a time as any. But before I address that, what I will say is this: what are the benefits? What are some of the benefits that you can derive from actually choosing to adopt a win-win attitude in your life? What are some of the benefits? Well, one, straight off the bat, it actually reduces stress and tension in your life. Mental world, which boils down to your physical world.
Hurry into Mattress Firm. For a limited time, save up to $500 when you get a king bed for the price of a queen or a queen for a twin. Plus, get a free adjustable base with qualifying Sealy purchases up to a $499 value. Or get up to 60% off America's top-rated brands, like Sealy Queen mattresses starting at $279.99 or Sleepy's at $169.99. In stock for fast delivery, only at Mattress Firm. Restrictions apply. See store or mattressfirm.com for details. Hurry into Mattress Firm. For a limited time, save up to $500 when you get a king bed for the price of a queen or a queen for a twin. Plus, get a free adjustable base with qualifying Sealy purchases up to a $499 value. Or get up to 60% off America's top-rated brands, like Sealy Queen mattresses starting at $279.99 or Sleepy's at $169.99. In stock for fast delivery, only at Mattress Firm. Restrictions apply. See store or mattressfirm.com for details.
It relieves stress and tension. Bottom line. Now, for me, you hear people say, oh, this is the silent, like strokes are the silent killer, and, this is killing people by the thousands, this is killing people by the millions across the world, and blah, 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 and all of that jazz. The greatest killer that is at pandemic proportions, the greatest killer has the ability to lower one's immune system, and with an impacted immune system, your body is susceptible to all the emotional imploding you do. The body is susceptible to every negative thought process that comes along. Stress is the number one killer in the world. Many people think that stress, it just creates anxiety, and you can go to the doctor and you can get something for the anxiety, and stress does this and stress. If you didn't come here with whatever ailment and disease you have, it's a result of stress. The reason why you have it is a result of stress. And to me, I think one of the things I find most gratifying now is that many doctors are actually getting on board with that. Look, you need to look at your stress levels and your lifestyle and your diet. Many doctors are getting on board. Many don't care, and many are giving lip service. Take, for instance, at the beginning of last year, like I said, last year was a definite, it was a serious year. But anyway, at the beginning of last year, I think maybe about February or something, January-ish, something like that, I wound up in the emergency room for whatever. So anyway, when I saw one doctor, and believe me, I am, as they perhaps would call, non-compliant. I'm a true believer that whatever's going on inside of me has been created by me and the things that I have been doing. And in order for me not to be this way, I need to stop doing the things that I am doing. Grant you, yes, sometimes you can get a little help from your friends. Sometimes they can help you over that bridge. But by and large, it's something that you have to do. You have to change your thought process. And that's what I was doing last year, changing my thought process. Last year, I did a 3-day, actually worked out for longer than a 3-day retreat, honestly, silent retreat here at home. And as a result of that, my God, what the hell is happening to my life? It's gone to hell in a handbasket. But that being said, I was talking about the doctors and their attitudes. Well, here we have two ends of the spectrum. I see one doctor, And this doctor says to me that nothing that I can do outside of taking the medication and copious amounts that they wanted to give me also, medication, nothing will actually help me. Absolutely nothing is going to help me. And so, you know, I actually, to be honest with you, I'm going to be really honest, guys. He was talking, and in mid-sentence, I picked up my handbag, I picked up my purse, put it over my shoulder, opened the door, and walked outside. And I said to him, because they have different color footprints that you follow to get out of the actual, you know, clinical side of the surgery. So I said, do I need to follow these feet to get out? And he looked so bewildered. He said, yes. And he was like, Mrs. Dearborne, is everything all right? And I just turned around and I just walked off. So the second doctor that I saw, I said to him, you know, with doing things like meditation, lifestyle change, diet change, etc., is there a possibility that, you know, things for me can change? Oh, yes, he says, blah, 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 blah. Now, this doctor was in the room next to the other doctor. So I used my thumb to point to the wall, and I sort of said, well, your counterpart said no. Your counterpart said no. And he looked at me. He gave me a really hard look, which I thought was too funny. He gave me a hard look like, really? You're in here doing this? Really? And he took a deep breath and he said, well, different doctors have different ideas about people's health. And I thought to myself, well, that's a given. I can definitely understand that. And then he started to backtrack a little bit, and then I gave him a hard look. And then we kind of agreed to disagree. No, we kind of agreed to just let that alone. Because there wasn't a way that he could back out of that without throwing his colleague under the bus. So anyway, that being said, guys, finding the benefits from creating a win-win. If I had, prior to what happened to me last year, that took me to the emergency room, if I actually had been looking for a win-win, it would actually have alleviated some of the stress that I had. And I was the one who was creating the stress. So finding a win-win, the major thing it does is it relieves stress. When you are free of stress, that means that you are mentally free to utilize that energy somewhere else. And you can utilize that energy somewhere else because you're actually able to see a lot clearer. You're able to see things that you weren't able to see before because they were obscured because of you being so stressed out. So right there, it relieves stress. It allows you to see. It frees up energy. It allows you to sleep. It allows you to be able to communicate with yourself, to talk to yourself, and to talk with yourself. It allows you to strategically place your energy where you want it to go by setting an intention. Finding a win-win stops that negative mind chatter. And that negative mind chatter can take up a lot of mental real estate. So you can use that mental real estate that's free to build whatever it is that you want to build. Finding a win-win as a physiological response. Truly, it can help the body to correct these diseases and disorders. And disclaimer I would say here, always make sure you check with your doctor before you implement anything that is said to really help you, help your body. It can help you to balance yourself so the body will balance itself. The pain in the neck that you were feeling, you won't feel anymore. You see, the pain in the neck that you were feeling was telling you that you kept saying so-and-so or this situation is a pain in the neck, which meant that you really didn't want to do this situation. And as a result, you got a pain in the neck. And the pain was trying to tell you something about you. The pain in the neck was telling you that you didn't want to do what it is that you're doing and you didn't want to be in this situation. So guys, the benefits that you derive from a win-win seriously can assist and support you in manifesting what you want in your life. It decreases stress. It allows that mental real estate that has been cluttered with stuff that you don't even... It allows that mental real estate to be freed up so you can build what you want to build. And as a result of that, your psychological thought processes have a direct response on your physiological, your physical body, your physiological processes. And for me, right there, that in itself is a win-win. So knowing, and I suggest, guys, that you try the win-win and see how it acts on you. Knowing when to start the process of transmuting negativity in your life, and I'll say positive, negativity and positive things in your life, knowing when to start the process, I've got my blog in front of me, knowing when to start the process of transmuting negativity in your life to create a new and positive vibe. Guys, it's crucial. It's crucial. And that's crucial to getting this win-win phenomena to work. One of the things that I kind of figured out for myself, and I'm sharing with you now, that is a true and good indicator, is, guys, when you literally say to yourself or to somebody else, or you say to yourself, I don't want to talk about, I don't even want to think about this, and you fill in the blank anymore. You fill in the blank. And guess what that means? Guys, guess what that means? You have naturally arrived at a cut-off point. So knowing when to start this process, truly start this process, is when you arrive at a cut-off point. That is truly a good way to know. Or when you start talking about something and you have to sigh deeply because, okay, now you know I'm going over into this arena and I truly don't want to go over in this arena and talk about this bullshit anymore. But, okay, I'm going to talk about it because, my feelings are still hurt, this, blah, that, and the other. When those things are happening to you, and or, guys, you might have a physiological response, like you start getting a headache. And you say to yourself, every time I talk about this shit, I get a headache. And it's physical, it's visceral, it's happening. These are a good, or all the above, is a good indication that now is the time to start the process of transmuting that negative energy in your life into something that's new, something that's positive, and it's something that you can use to create the life that you want to live. Well, unfortunately, as I put in the blog, the cutoff point isn't always arrived at so organically, which means you can get caught in a vortex. You can be miserable, and misery likes company, and you can accompany yourself in this vortex and never get out. So when you don't arrive at your cutoff point so organically, what this means is you have to create a cutoff point by giving yourself a timeline in which to stop rehashing the bullshit of these events in your life. And you have to stop rehashing them with yourself and others. You have to put a stop to that internal chatter and also chatter, which, what I mean by that, the internal chatter, you know, you're always talking to yourself, blah, blah, this happened, I should have drop-kicked my boss, I should have blah, blah, blah. And the external chatter, girl, how you feeling about what happened, blah, 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 blah. I know it was bad. And what else are you doing about this, girl? You need to do something about this. You need to go in there and you need to kick. And why? How are you feeling now? And what would you like to do about this? And what have they said? Has anybody said anything to you? Don't you feel the external chatter? Guys, it's your life. It's your choice. You get to choose not to engage. Setting this intention and acting on it serves to put the brakes on the emotional fallout that comes with reliving the past events or reliving past events over and over and over and over again. Guys, it's a past event. You can't do anything.
At JCPenney's Memorial Day sale, sizzling deals are on with store-wide doorbusters all weekend. Or bring home savings up to 50% during our Memorial Day home sale. Save even more with your coupon. And for all former and active military personnel, enjoy an extra 10% off in-store. Just show a valid military or VA ID at checkout. Shopping is back. JCPenney. Coupon valid on select styles through 5/30. Some exclusions apply. Doorbusters valid 5/26 through 5/30 and excluded from coupons. See store or jcp.com for details.
About it, because if you could, you would have. And talking incessantly about stuff that serves no purpose in your life does nothing for you. So by choosing to control how you want to mentally interact with past experience or past experiences sets the stage for the laws of attraction in action win-win phenomena. So guys, again, choosing how you want to mentally interact with past experiences sets the stage for you creating the win-win phenomena. And at this point, you adopt the win-win attitude. When you literally say, I don't want to talk about this anymore, I'm not doing this anymore, you have adopted the win-win attitude. Now, hear me clearly. It doesn't mean that you're using it yet. It means that you've done the first step. You've taken the first leg of the journey. So with the stage set, you can now begin the process of using the win-win. And of course, guys, for all of you who don't know me, and for all of you who are getting to know me, you know, here it goes with the questions. I always have questions. So the stage has been set. You don't want to talk about this crap anymore, and or you've come to the stage, you've chosen and given yourself a timeline to stop rehashing this and put something else in its place. Or you've naturally arrived at the cutoff point where you're like, I don't even want to talk about this anymore. I'm not talking about this anymore. This is, as I just said, this is adopting the win-win attitude. So you've set the stage. And so now you need to ask yourself a series of questions. And it starts like this, very, very, very basic but powerful. What can I learn from this experience? What's happened to you? What can I learn from this to support me? To support me in moving forward. What have I learned, and how am I going to apply this new learning to my life? What have I learned from, you know, my divorce? What have I learned from the illness that I have? What is it teaching me? What am I wanting to experience in my future as I move forward? What am I wanting to experience? And how has, if it's a divorce, if it's the loss of a loved one, if it's, seeing someone hurt, whatever it is, how has this experience helped me to understand myself? What am I going to do with this new understanding to move my life forward, to improve my life, to go to my next level, whatever that is? Based on this experience, what am I doing? And more importantly, what do I need to do so that I can feel whole, complete, capable, happy, joyous, or whatever adjective you want to add there? In the blog, guys, attractioners, one of the things that I put, which is important, right? And I just want us to be crystal clear. We need to be crystal clear when talking about the win-win, using the win-win phenomena. You are not looking for a way to get over the negative feelings you're experiencing about a painful event that has occurred in your life, or painful event. Win-win isn't about that. What you're looking for is how to use that experience to better your life in positive, inspirational, and motivational ways. Attractioners, guys, it's important that you understand this nuance. Stopping the negative feelings is not the same as transforming negative feelings into positive energy. To stop the feelings and to use them. To stop the feelings isn't about transmuting energy. Using the new energy and, if you will, the new feelings is about transformation. So guys, as long as we're clear, stopping negative feelings isn't the same as transforming negative feelings into a positive vibe. It's not the same. And so it's vitally important that you know this. Don't think just because you've decided not to feel negative about anything anymore. Well, that in itself, if I'm being really honest, that in itself can be a win. But I'm talking about a win-win. I'm talking about taking it a step further. And that step further is utilizing the experience that you've had to create something new. Now, as emotional beings, we're apt to find ourselves conversing about things in our minds that we've claimed we couldn't give a damn about. And conversing about things we said that we wouldn't. We're human. We're human. And as I said in my blog, don't waste your energy giving yourself a beat down about this. You can use that energy somewhere else. You can use that energy to help set the stage to create your win-win. As human beings, we have triggers, and we might put the pen down and the pen rolls off onto the floor. And as it rolls onto the floor and it hits, it hits the carpet, the thud reminds you of the time that, I don't know, you're playing with one of your siblings and they fell over and you got told off, and then, or they pushed you over and, you broke your arm, and then you went to the doctor and the doctor wasn't nice, but you didn't say anything and blah, 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 blah. It sets off a chain reaction. That's okay. We're human. But when you catch yourself, don't give yourself a beat down. Don't waste your energy. When you're consciously saying to yourself and others, when you consciously say to yourself and others, I said I wasn't talking about this anymore, and here I go again. Remember, you're human and it's natural. What I would like you to do when those situations crop up is to mentally or audibly thank yourself for reminding you, and then adopt your win-win attitude by choosing in that moment to take control of your thoughts and where you're putting your energy. Set the stage. Set the stage for your laws of attraction in action, win-win phenomena to become an integral part of your daily life. It needs to become a part of you like you're breathing. Earlier, guys, in this podcast, I had said people consciously and unconsciously practice win-win all the time. And they do. I mentioned my mother's friend who was actually stabbed, and as I said, it was definitely a racially motivated stabbing. And what that did for him, he found the win-win, because it could have been very easy for him to become bitter and negative and twisted about this. But what he chose to do was think about what it is that he wants to do. He felt that it was so important that your life not be wasted and to give back in some way. So people, as I said, consciously and unconsciously practice win-win all the time. And they do this by pouring hurt, dark, painful, negative energy into something creative that manifests into something absolutely spectacularly beautiful. And that's what it does. That beautiful creation becomes a tangible force which acts as a benchmark or a milestone. It's something that all your senses can touch, and it becomes a physical reality. So, guys, as we wind up this first show for 2019, can you believe it? One of the things that I'm going to ask you to do is to take a moment to reflect on your life. How many times, and I really mean this, how many times have you unconsciously employed a win-win process? And as you think about it, I think that you're going to be surprised how many times you've actually done this organically. You've done this naturally. And I guess importantly, where can you use today, this moment, this minute, the universal laws of attraction, win-win phenomena in your life, today, now, this minute? What does it look like to begin transmuting some of the negative energy that you have surrounding people, places, and things, and events and situations that have happened to you? What does it look like this minute, 1:55 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, or Los Angeles, California time, the United States time? What does it look like this minute now to look at a situation that you are going through and finding the win-win? Flip the script on it. What is it showing you about you? What is a positive spin? Put a positive spin on it for you. Then take that energy and place it somewhere else. But before you take that energy and place it somewhere else, ask yourself, truly ask yourself, reconnect with self and see how you're feeling when you look for that win-win. One of the old phrases is the silver lining. There's a silver lining around every thundercloud, or within every thundercloud, you will find a silver lining. Find the silver lining. Find the win-win in your life. Stop wasting time, energy, and precious resources, but above all for me, time, on shit you can't change. Use your time wisely. You have 1,440 minutes in a day. Create the life that you want to live. Use this energy of transmuting. Transmute what it is that you don't want in your life into what it is that you do. Use the energy. And before I wrap up, it's vitally important, or it can be powerful, to use this with children. Ask them to find the win-win. You know, you just finished beating their ass, they're in trouble, they're in timeout, you know, they're in lockdown, whatever. Can't play with this computer toy or whatever it is. Ask the children, find the win-win. Ask them what this situation is teaching them, and a positive thing, because of course they'll give you the lip service, but a positive thing, beyond the I shouldn't have done it. What else is it teaching you? Mummy's a cow. Beyond mummy being a cow, what else is it teaching you? And ask them. But that being said, guys, I'm going to wrap up now. Happy New Year to you all, to one and all. And I should see your face, I'd imagine, in this place next week. And until next time, you can find me on Facebook. Please join the group, The Laws of Attraction in Action. I do Facebook Live. Check out the website. Take a read of the blogs. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff coming this year. So I'm Dr. Wendy Dearborne. Love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we are going to rock out with Dub Spirit. Peace. Oh, that actually wasn't Dub Spirit. We're going out with Dub Spirit. There you go, guys. Dub Spirit. Go.
At JCPenney's Memorial Day sale, sizzling deals are on with store-wide doorbusters all weekend. Or bring home savings up to 50% during our Memorial Day home sale. Save even more with your coupon. And for all former and active military personnel, enjoy an extra 10% off in-store. Just show a valid military or VA ID at checkout. Shopping is back. JCPenney. Coupon valid on select styles through 5/30. Some exclusions apply. Doorbusters valid 5/26 through 5/30 and excluded from coupons. See store or jcp.com for details.